we are getting ourselves a nice early start here this morning. And, about 15 minutes ago, I guess now, I was sort of vacuuming up this area right here, because last night I'd been working on my glasses here. The plastic in these dollar store glasses eventually gives away. For no particular reason, it will crack, and all of a sudden this lens fell out. So I was experimenting around. First of all, I used this Tamiya extra thin, the quick setting, because I knew it was the strongest solvent glue I've probably got, and a lot of the you might say what makes it look brown was coming off, and I had little flakes all over the place here. And so anyway, back to the vacuuming. I was vacuuming everything up, and suddenly I remembered that these two little pieces had been laying on the cloth. Now, if I'm not wearing my glasses at the time I'm doing my vacuuming, I don't see that. And a terrible thought flashed through my mind with visions of going through the vacuum cleaner bag. And it seems to me I had to do that on the Bismarck once when, I vacuumed up part of the aircraft launching mechanism. Now, fortunately, nothing got damaged, and I did find it. But anyway, I did put them in this tin here. So, yeah. Now, another thing, you'll notice that the sunrise is not, well, you can see it right there. It was really, really nice about half an hour ago. And it looked like it was going to be really great. In fact, at that moment, I was typing in a reply to one of the viewers, and I mentioned how nice the sunrise looked. And but I noticed now it's kind of petered out. But I'm going to try something a little different. What happens is when I try to process the sunrise into slow motion, and you take an hour or so of video, for some reason it will take my computer a long time. An hour sunrise compressed down to slow motion takes maybe 2 hours, ties my computer up for 2 hours. Well, what I like to do, as I mentioned before, is I'll shoot a scene a little bit, and then I'll take it and I'll process it, and I'll eventually add everything together until I do the final edit at the end of the day. So I'm going to... where am I going here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sunrises in my laptop, which is actually kind of slow, but who cares? Hopefully by the end of the day, the sunrise will be ready to attach to the end of the video, and I can say something to the effect of, and here was today's sunrise. If it was worth seeing. And I think today's will be, but it's dying out. And a few moments ago, when I drew open the curtains of the front window here, I noticed that that is looking east, obviously, but when we look west, I can see what looks like rain moving in. So we're probably going to have a bit of a cloudy day, and I think that's the end of our sunrise. Enough about the sunrise. Now, two things I want to do today, and that is, by the way, after I found out that this stuff didn't seem to have any effect on the plastic, then I used this, which is also a solvent glue. I probably would have been better off using CA glue. I don't know how long this is going to hold together here. This is falling apart pretty bad. Anyway, they were only $1, but that's not the point. It's not the dollar. It's the nuisance of having to run to the dollar store and get another pair. And I know somebody's going to say, well, why don't you go to the optician and get proper ones? Well, I probably will. Probably get some sort of bifocals or something. I'm at that age. Got other problems too, but we won't bore you with that. Now, I should have used CA on this. It might have worked better. Now, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, one of the viewers said that these things here were actually they are actually look like they might be keyed, so that in other words, the numbers were different, and I didn't really pay any attention to that when I nipped them off yesterday. So one goes on one side and the other goes on the other side. So it would be possible, in other words, to get them wrong. So I want to take just a quick look at that. Maybe I'll slip the macro lens on and show you at the same time. But what I want to do today is maybe put together this electric drill. Now, as you can see, it's not even 8 a.m. So, well, it will be in half a minute. But, yeah, I'm thinking of maybe putting this together today. And we'll see. Maybe I'll video it and maybe I won't. But it might be very little about the model ship again, and more about the electric drill. We'll see how it goes. But I'm still going to call it the model ship 932. About 20 minutes has passed here now, and I've cleaned this up, and in my peripheral vision I was noticing that a little kid was running down the street to school, obviously. And then I noticed it was raining outside. So, yeah. And looking over into my monitor now, the nice sunrise is gone. Anyway, let's just see. This is going to be the first time I'm checking to see if this is going to fit. I don't see why it won't. All the others did. Yeah, that's going to be all right. Okay. Now, what I want to do is check to see if those propeller shafts were keyed. Now, how am I going to show you that? In other words, set up so that you can see it and I can do it easily at the same time. Okay, I think I'm seeing what that viewer may have thought was keyed, and that is that this one looks different from the other three. Now, if the peg on the little part that has to go in there is also, but I think that in all likelihood, probably moving it out of the field of view here, it's hard to hold it down, but I think that probably, I better check the monitor. It's still kind of there. I think that this hole just maybe didn't get. Oh no, that's not pulling out. Well, maybe. Or let's check the parts and see if if one of the pegs is, you might say, a square peg. Okay, it would have to be one of these pegs here that's closest to us. And if I roll it over, does it look like one of them is squared off? I don't think so. I think they're... Let's try this one here. I think what we're going to have to do is just put it on so that this part that I'm touching right now is flat up against the bottom of the boat, and then I think it'll be pretty obvious if I've got it wrong, because it'll be kind of over to one side or the other. I don't think I'm going to bother any more about this right now. I'll wait until we actually go to put it on. And I might try and get rid of that flashing that you see right there, that the point is touching. I think I can possibly see if I could hold it down. See, I got to be careful not to snap the shaft. Well, it's probably better. I think I better quit while I'm ahead. Okay, I'm showing this scene just so that we can get perspective of size again. Yeah. All right. Now our sunrise is really gone. It is really gray over there. Let's get these in where they're safe. Make ourselves some room. All right, let's have some fun here. It is raining pretty good out there right now. And I think what I'm going to do, well, first of all, I take a sip of coffee often just before I'm going to speak because I find that my voice is a little clearer and less chance of it cracking or croaking or however you want to put it. But I'm going to take my good camera and hang it from the overhead here, and my intention is to snap some pictures of this manual, if you can call it a manual. It's more of an instruction sheet here, I guess. Now, I don't know if I have to photograph all of it. Yeah, I guess I do. I was thinking that possibly part of it being in Japanese, I don't need to photograph it, but well, I guess I wouldn't need to photograph this. Anyway, you're getting more information than you need here. I'm just going to hang the camera up from the overhead and just do that. And that way, I can Photoshop out a little area. Like let's say that there was something here that I wanted to show close up. Well, I can, if it's photographed really, really sharp, I can, in Photoshop, I can just select just a little area of it, and I've done that probably 100 times in the past with the Bismarck and now the Hood, and it works out really, really well if I can photograph it really sharp to start with. And for those of you who are camera buffs, each one of those JPEGs is about 20 to 30 megabytes. Yeah, they're pretty hefty files, you might say. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm looking at it in the monitor right now, and the way I do it is like this. I try to have it so that the camera is at the same plane as the paper that I'm trying to photograph. In other words, it's not coming in at an angle this way or this way, you know what I mean? It's parallel. This is parallel with the film plane, in other words. Okay, now the second thing that I do is I try to zoom in so that only what you want photographed fills the entire frame. So only what is important now has filled the frame. Now this is basically the beginning. We don't really need this. I know what tools I need, but you know, may as well have it here. Okay, that's the beginning of number one. I know I'm kind of wasting time, aren't I? Maybe I should back out just a little bit here. Okay, now I've got my camera set up so that that's pretty good. Oops, run. Okay, I've got the camera set up so that there's a delay from the time I push the button. Well, there's actually two delays. First of all, when I push the button part way, you're going to hear a little beep. Okay, now that beep indicated it's perfectly in focus, at least where that little green dot is, and the rest is pretty close. Now when I push it the rest of the way, the shutter is going to flip up. It's going to wait for 1 second, and then the mirror will flip up, and then it'll wait for 1 second, and then the shutter will go off. So here we go. Okay, it's taken a picture there. Now I'll just go up and I'll get the next area of importance. Now it appears here that there's no use doing just step one, because it's kind of silly. So I might as well do 1 and 2 at the same time, and then I'll crop them in Photoshop later. Now we've got a problem here with a bit of a kink going on in our paper. When I did the manual for the Bismarck and the Hood, I had I can see we got a bit of vignetting going on because of the corners are darker than they should be, but I can fix that in Photoshop later if I want to. I probably won't want to. Okay, so maybe I could back out just a little. Okay, now we gotta get this focused on something here, and it's not going to want to focus, I don't think, on that paper. It might. Let's just see. Yeah, it did. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just do the rest of it now. So just I got to show everything, don't I? Now, it took 2 reboots and a little bit of coaxing and tweaking, but I think our laptop has processed our sunrise. It has taken about 2 hours of sunrise and compressed it into about 60 seconds. And I'm going to attach that, all being well, at the end of this video. Now, I'd like to apologize to those viewers who yesterday wanted to watch my video as soon as it normally uploads. In other words, 5 o'clock Winnipeg time. And yeah, it was the day before's video. In other words, I grabbed the wrong one off my desktop and dragged it into YouTube. And I guess I wasn't paying attention, and I uploaded the same one twice. And thanks to Mark in Australia for putting me onto that, and then a couple other viewers mentioned something too. They were mentioning deja vu and stuff like that. Well, yeah, sorry about that. I haven't done that sort of thing for quite a while. I know I have done it before in the past, that I've uploaded the wrong thing and had to pull it and upload the right one, but the only excuse I've got is because when I was uploading it or starting to upload it, my neighbor had just come over for coffee, and we were talking, and I just wasn't paying attention. But it was my fault. It wasn't his fault. All right. Now, for step number 1. All right. We are going to be needing some pieces out of this package. And it looks like this piece right here that I'm hanging on to. At least that's what it looks like to me. Okay, and this piece is B5. And if I watch what I'm doing here, I shouldn't have to trim this part. I mean, we're not making a display model here, so it doesn't have to be fancy. Yeah. Now, just a point of interest here, I was noticing that all the carrots that we put out yesterday along that pipe, they're gone. And I don't think the neighbor's dog ate them. Okay, now, I believe it's this piece right here that we need. Looks like it to me, anyway. And it is supposed to go, if we hold this according to the diagram, does this go here? No, I got it the wrong way up. Okay, goes like this. Or does it go like this? According to the diagram, it's supposed to snap down into place. Oh yeah, I can see how that's supposed to go. It'll go something like this. And then when you push it down, I think it's supposed to snap into place. Yeah, it did, but it didn't make a snapping sound. Okay, I think we got, oh, maybe I don't have that right. Let me put on my stronger glasses. I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I can see where I went wrong there. And this is where Tony's tweezers should work really well. This was supposed to go underneath like that. There. Did you hear the snap? Yeah, got it right this time. Okay, here we go. Now the battery terminal. Sort of the same idea. This is supposed to go in there like this. And I believe it is also supposed to, excuse me, snap into place here. Maybe I'll do it with my finger. Maybe I won't. There we go. Oh, no, didn't. Thought it did. Is it down and seated? I think it is, but I didn't hear it snap. It's almost like it could go just a little bit further there or something to. Maybe I could use these tweezers here and just push this down. Maybe I'm going to have to do this off camera. Sorry. Okay, there was a little tab there that just had to be, I don't know how to describe it, but hopefully you can see how it was supposed to go. It really didn't snap into place, but it's in the right place now. At least the idea is that it'll stay there. It won't fall out. Okay, let's move on. Step 2. And step 2 wants us to put the pinion gear on the motor. Okay, and they very wisely show how to put this end of the shaft on something solid so that when you press down, you're not going to accidentally shove the shaft right through the rotor or whatever they call it, or the armature. Okay, so I would think that this is solid. I don't think it matters which way it goes on. It looks the same both ways. Well, maybe I'm going to have to do this differently. Now, maybe if I was to look at the instructions more closely, I'd have realized that what they were trying to show is to do it like this. There we go. Now, if we move over in step 2, we can see that we're supposed to marry these two pieces together here. And I guess there's no soldering involved with this kit, so I guess these little tabs here just make a pressure contact right on there, and make sure they're bent out enough. And the idea is that it's supposed to snap into place. See here, is this right? Does this look right? This goes in. Yeah, it should work if I got it the right way. It almost looks like it won't fit. Oh, I see. This is supposed to snap in there. All right. Probably holding it too close to the camera and it went out of focus there. Okay, see, this goes in here. I'm trying to do this on camera and maybe it's not a good idea. There we go. It didn't really snap, but it's a good tight fit. I can see where those contacts have made contact. Okay, yeah. I guess it's designed so that a kid can put it together, without any special tools or anything, like soldering. Now for step 3, it looks like we're going to need these pieces, so I'm just going to go ahead and nip them off. I don't think we need to do any close-ups of that being done. Now, I am sorry to sort of have to interrupt here, but we're going to have to cut today's video off, even though I did actually take more video. Yeah, I took way more than I thought I did, and it's getting late, and I still have to get the sunrise out of the laptop. So, yeah, stay tuned, you might say, for the sunrise. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.